Hello and welcome to part 7 of this Legend of Zelda playthrough. Our adventure is nearly finished. There's only one more part after this one. And in this part I'm actually going to be doing level number 8, the Lion Dungeon. But first things first, I'm actually going to show you another secret screen because as I promised in the first video, I'm going to be showing all of the secret screens in the game. So I'm actually going to head down right now. It's near that bridge that we've passed multiple times already. If we just head down a screen here, you'll see a cave. And there's a secret screen. And this time it's an old lady giving us a hint, not an old man. And she says, meet the old man at the grave. She's referring to the old man in the graveyard who gave us the magical sword. And that was all the way back in one of the earlier videos that I did. So now that I have that done, I'm going to head over to dungeon number 8. Finally going to get the final 8th Triforce piece. And once we do, we'll have the Triforce of Wisdom complete, and we can take on Ganon once and for all and rescue the princess. Dungeon number 8 is in the middle of a forest. If you find the screen, you'll run into a dead end blocked by a tree, and there's actually an old man that gives you a hint. He says the secret is in the tree at the dead end. And I'll show you that screen later on in this video. But this is what he's referring to. There's this dead end here blocked with this tree. And if you burn it, bam, you open up level 8. So welcome to the Lion Dungeon. This dungeon is pretty cool because you get 2 secret items. So 2 is always better than 1. You get the magic book here, and you also get the magical key. The first one I'll be getting is the magic book. So let me make my way over that way. There's another manhandler here. So as always, I'm gonna manhandle him with some bombs. Bam. Open the door, get some bombs, and head on through. And that staircase will lead me to the first item, the magic book. I hate this room. Any room that has bubbles is a room that I hate. But I got lucky here and I got a time stopper so they quit moving around. And I could take care of business. So here's the magic book. It is not an item by itself, it's simply an upgrade for the magic wand. Now you can shoot fire from the wand. So now you can really play Moses. You got a magical staff and you can run around burning bushes. It's pretty cool. I actually never use it in this playthrough because I like using my sword, but if you don't have full hearts like I do, it's a good item to use as range. And just like the last level had a bunch of dig doggers, this one has a bunch of manhandlers. That was the second one. I believe there's one more still. But I'm gonna work on getting the map and also the second item, the magical key. Here's some Pole's voice. Sometimes if you get lucky, you can line them all up and shoot them and kill them all in one arrow, but it's very hard to do. You gotta get lucky. But it does feel satisfying if you accomplish that though. So like I've mentioned, the second item here is the magical key. If you'll notice at my key count, you'll see that I have 10 keys. And that's completely absurd because you don't need all of them. This is one of the few Zelda games that you have more keys than you have locked doors. So they're kind of obsolete as it is, just because I have such an abundance of keys. But what the magical key will do is it'll actually make the keys obsolete. It'll open any door in the entire game. It's kind of like having the mayor give you the keys to the town. Here's a Goma. This one is a blue Goma, so it takes 3 hits to kill it. And most people think that Goma is a spider, but Goma is actually described as a crab in the manual. This old man says Spectacle Rock is an entrance to death. He is referring to the entrance to level number 9, Death Mountain. If you go to Spectacle Rock and blow it open with a bomb, that will reveal the entrance. And I'll show you that towards the end of this video. Here's another room with a bunch of bubbles, so I just ran right through it because I hate bubbles. Almost as much as I hate the pea hats. I was actually stupid here. You have to kill all those blue dark nuts to go to the right. But I'm actually going to go up first to grab some items. And once you go through those underground dungeon screens, all the enemies reset. So I'm probably going to have to fight those blue dark nuts again. But here's another secret rupee room. Blinged out with cash money. I love it. I got my arrows out before coming in here because I knew there was a Goma here. This one's a little bit trickier than the one from earlier, just because you have those 4 statues in the corner shooting orbs at you. So you can see there's just orbs flying everywhere. But as long as you keep moving, you should be fine. I like that one dark nut stuck in the middle. He can't do anything. You can just mercilessly shoot at him with your bow. Or your sword. Or your magic wand. Whatever you want. So here's the second item of the dungeon, the magical key, which I talked about earlier. And you can see it's shaped like the map of the level, like a lion head. So now I have pretty much an infinite amount of keys. Here's that room earlier with the dark nuts. I knew I'd have to fight them again. Here's a secret passage that's going to take me to another part of the dungeon. You don't actually have to fight all these guys. I don't know why I did. You can just run for the stairs. And I should have done that since there are bubbles in this room. But I decided to slaughter everything first. Having some terrible aiming at these keys here. And that was nice. If you're quick with that, you can kill all those Poles Voice at once before they disperse. Obviously, if they disperse, you're going to have a harder time killing them. Plus, it's always fun to kill a bunch in one hit. I don't know why I use my candle here. It's pretty much an obsolete item now with the magical wand with the fire upgrade. Here's probably the most cryptic quote that old man has in this game. He says 10th enemy has the bomb, and originally people thought that it was a mistranslation because in the Japanese version of the game that old man actually says search for the lion key, which is the second item of this dungeon. But there's been a more recent theory. Over at GameTrailers.com they have a webcast show called Pop Fiction, and in one of their recent episodes they actually mentioned an algorithm for drops in this game. And they ran an experiment where if you kill 9 enemies without taking a hit, and then you kill the 10th one using a bomb, that enemy will drop a bundle of bombs. So it's really cool. There's a whole chart of algorithms of how the drops work in this game. And if you're more interested in how that works, I'll leave a link to that video in the description. You should check it out, it's really cool. But I rambled right through that boss battle. That was a 4-headed Gleeok. It's a little tougher than the 2-headed one we fought earlier. But as long as you avoid the heads, shouldn't be that much of a problem. Got the final heart in the game and also the final Triforce piece to restore the Triforce of Wisdom. Ready to fight Ganon. But first I want to show you a few more screens because I promised I would show all of them. Here's one of the screens. This old man says, "Pay me for the door repair charge." There's a bunch of these throughout the overworld. Apparently this guy has a door that's a rock cliff. But there's, like I said, there's a bunch of those screens in the game. And it's pretty much for people who are searching for secrets. They'll go in and just lose a bunch of rupees having to pay door repair charges. I'm just going to show that one screen so you know it exists. But there are a bunch of them. And next I'm going to make my way over to Death Mountain, the final level of the game. And if you remember, I got the power bracelet in an earlier video, and it allows me to move these rocks. So I can do that and take shortcuts in the overworld. Depending on which road you take, you end up on a different part of the overworld. This one takes me right near Death Mountain. But here's the final old man screen in the overworld. It says, "Secret is in the tree at the dead end." And that's the quote that I mentioned early on in this video about how to access dungeon number 8. That little tree at the dead end there that we burned to get in. But I am done with everything in the overworld. I showed you at least one screen of everything you can encounter in the game. Showed you all the old man screens besides the one in level number 9, which I'll be showing in the next video. Got all the Triforce pieces, all the heart pieces, so ready to go fight Ganon and save the princess. These are the last P-hats we'll be seeing in the game. So that's very good. And this is Spectacle Rock, like the old man said. And if you blow a hole in this left rock here, you'll reveal the entrance to Death Mountain. So thank you very much for watching, and join me next time for the conclusion.